Welcome back, dear listeners, to another bone-chilling episode of Shell's Spooky Stories. I'm your host, Shell, and tonight we delve into a story that will make you reconsider ever entering an abandoned house. It's a tale of lost lives, restless spirits, and the dark secrets that lie hidden within old walls. So dim the lights, settle in, and prepare yourself for the lodger's legacy. The story begins in a small quiet town where an old abandoned house stood at the end of Elm Street. The house had been uninhabited for years, ever since the lodger who lived there, Mr. Arthur Wilkins, had passed away under mysterious circumstances. The townsfolk had always whispered about the house, claiming it was haunted, but no one dared go near it. That is, until one new owner decided it was time to clear out the property and renovate it. They hired a local cleaning crew, a team of 4, John, Mary, Dave and Lisa. They were given strict instructions to clear out everything inside the house and make it ready for refurbishment. On a foggy morning, the crew arrived at the house, its imposing structure casting long shadows in the early night. The front door creaked open, revealing a dark, dusty interior. The air was thick with the scent of decay and neglect. John, the leader of the crew, took a deep breath and stepped inside, followed by the others. "All right, let's get to work. The sooner we start, the sooner we finish." They split up, each taking a different room. Mary headed to the living room, where the furniture covered in white sheets stood like silent sentinels. Dave and Lisa took the kitchen and dining area, while John climbed the creaky stairs to the second floor. As they worked, they couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The house seemed to groan and sigh, as if it resented their presence. Mary pulled back the sheets, revealing dusty old furniture and a collection of photographs. She picked one up, examining the faded image of a young man and woman, their faces stern and unsmiling. This must be Mr. Wilkins and his wife. She placed the photo back and continued her work, but the sense of unease grew stronger. Meanwhile, Dave and Lisa sorted through the cluttered kitchen, finding old rusted utensils and jars of preserved foods, long past their expiration date. Lisa: "Ugh, this stuff is ancient. Why did he keep all of this?" Dave: "Who knows, some people just can't let go." Upstairs, John entered what appeared to be Mr. Wilkins' bedroom. The bed was neatly made, a layer of dust covering the quilt. He opened the closet, revealing a collection of old clothes and a small locked chest. Curious, he forced the lock and opened the chest, finding a collection of letters and a worn journal. As he skimmed through the journal, he discovered entries detailing strange occurrences in the house. Mr. Wilkins had written about hearing whispers in the night, seeing shadowy figures, and feeling an oppressive presence. "John, I can't escape them. They're always here, watching, waiting. I fear I am not alone in this house." A chill ran down John's spine. He closed the journal and looked round the room, feeling the weight of the unseen eyes upon him. Downstairs, Mary heard a faint whispering sound. She paused, straining to listen. The whispers grew louder, filling the room with a murmur. She turned, her heart pounding, but saw nothing. Mary: "Is anyone there?" There was no answer, just the oppressive silence of the old house. She shook her head, trying to dismiss the feeling, and continued to work. In the kitchen, Dave and Lisa were startled by a sudden crash. They turned to see an old pot lying on the floor, having fallen from a shelf. They exchanged uneasy glances. Dave: "This place is creepy. Let's hurry up and finish." As they worked, the strange occurrences continued. Shadows flitted at the edge of their vision, objects moved on their own, and the whispering grew louder, more intense. The crew gathered in the living room to take a break, their nerves frayed by the eerie atmosphere. John shared what he found in the journal, and the group fell silent, the weight of the revelation sinking in. Lisa: "Do you think this house is haunted?" John: "It sounds like Mr. Wilkins believed it was. And after what we've seen today, I'm starting to think he was right." Just then the temperature in the room dropped suddenly, and a thick fog began to seep through the walls. The whispers grew louder, more distinct, as if the house itself was speaking to them. "Leave this place. You do not belong here." The crew huddled together, fear etched on their faces. They decided to leave the house, but as they moved towards the door, the fog thickened, and the whispers turned into a symphony of voices, each one filled with anger and despair. "Mary, we have to get out of here." They rushed to the door, but it slammed shut with a force that shook the house. The windows rattled and the walls seemed to close in around them. The crew screamed, pounding on the door, desperate to escape. "John, open the door, let us out!" In the midst of the chaos, the ghostly figure of Mr. Wilkins appeared, his face twisted in anguish. He reached out, his voice blending with the whispers. "You must leave. They will not let you go." With a final desperate effort, John managed to wrench the door open and the crew spilled out into the daylight, grasping for breath. They looked back at the house, its windows dark and menacing, and they knew they could never return. The new owners decided to board up the house, deeming it too dangerous to renovate. The townsfolk continued to avoid it, the tales of its haunting spreading like wildfire. The house stood as a silent reminder of the dark forces that lingered within. Years later, the house remains abandoned, a place of eerie silence and dark memories. Those who dare to approach it speak of hearing whispers and seeing shadowy figures, the legacy of Mr. Wilkins and the restless spirits that haunt the old house. So, dear listeners, if you ever find yourself in a small town with an abandoned house at the end of Elm Street, remember the story of the lodger and the dark forces he left behind. Some places are better left undisturbed, for the spirits to dwell within and not always at rest. Thank you for joining me for this haunting tale. It's a chilling reminder that some legacies are best left undisturbed. Until next time, dear listener, stay safe and keep your lights on. Thanks for tuning in to tonight's chilling tale, but the hauntings don't have to end here. If you love ghost stories and crave even more spine-tingling content, why not unlock the other side? Join our exclusive membership for bonus episodes, behind-the-scenes extras and much more. The link is waiting for you in the description below. And do you have a story of your own? Something that keeps you up at night? Share your experience through the links in the description. You might just hear your own story being featured on upcoming episodes. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow ghost story lovers, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a shadow in the dark. Stay spooky, and we'll see you on the other side.